Hello, this is Richard Wilson. Today we're going to be talking about third-party marketing. To start with, the definition of third-party marketing is the hands-on capital raising and marketing of investment funds by independent consultants that work outside of the fund. And before we get into some of the details of third-party marketing, let me just show you where you can learn more after this video. One place to go is hedgefundblogger.com. And hedgefundblogger.com, on the left-hand side of the website, you'll see a fund marketing resources link. Click that link, and here are over 50 articles on fund marketing, including some information on third-party marketing, like third-party marketing due diligence, as you'll see here. We've got probably 24 articles on third-party marketing. The other place to go, probably even a better resource on this exact topic, is thirdpartymarketing.com. This is the most popular website on the topic of third-party marketing, and we have about 300 different resources here you can access, learn about email newsletter marketing, about hedge fund pitch book creation, hedge fund disclosures, unique hedge fund marketing strategies, third-party marketing agreements. We try to cover the full spectrum of anything educational you might want to learn about third-party marketing. We try to add to this website. So now more on the topic of third-party marketing. Lots of people send us emails asking how third-party marketers are paid, how they should be paid, how agreements should be set up. And while we can't provide any technical legal advice on contract creation or the structure of contracts, we can tell you that typically in the industry, third-party marketers usually take in 20% of the fees that are billed on the assets they've raised. So let's make that a bit easier to understand. If you're working for a hedge fund manager as a third-party marketer, and they charge 2% management fees and 20% performance fees, you are usually able to receive 20% of both the management and performance fees on the assets that you raised. So if you raise $100 million and the management fee is 2%, then it would be a 2% management fee, and as long as those assets stay invested, then you should be able to receive 20% of that 2%. And if that manager has 20% performance, then the performance fee is usually charged to the investor, and you would be able to receive 20% of that performance fee as well. And the reason why people get into this business is there's low barriers to entry. There's some licensing considerations. You have to have a good database of investors. You have to be well connected. You have to know the process of raising capital. But lots of people enter the industry because it can be very lucrative if you're good at raising assets, and those assets are very sticky. You can be paid for many years down the road for that 1 year of capital raising or that 2 years of capital raising for one client. Another question we often get is, as a third-party marketer, how many clients should our firm be serving? I personally have worked in the third-party marketing industry, and when I worked in the industry, I saw our firm and others typically taking on 3 to 5 clients at any one time. You'll see really 2 different flavors of third-party marketers in the industry. One type of third-party marketer is one that charges a monthly retainer or a consulting fee monthly to the clients. This could be anywhere from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month or more. In this model, the third-party marketer usually only has 2 to 4 clients. Could have slightly more if they have a large team, but usually 2 to 4 clients, which are all paying this retainer, and then you're guaranteed to get the attention of that marketer because you're paying them a retainer, plus they're also getting a percentage of assets, percentage of fees on the assets raised, and then you know that your marketer is really dedicated to you. The other model is to not charge a retainer but take on more clients. So some third-party marketers will try to find one investment fund for every type of investment fund that an investor would ever want. So one third-party marketer could have a great real estate investment trust, a great long-short hedge fund manager, a great global short hedge fund manager, a great mutual fund, a great separate managed account institution. And so they might have 14 different clients, which they believe are all best of breed and top decile performance and great team pedigree and great investment processes that are really consistent. And what they do is, instead of charging a monthly retainer, they just don't promise that you're going to get a lot of talk time when they go to their meetings with investors. And the reason why they do this is they want to be able to go to an investor, and regardless of their investment preference or quarterly kind of search for a new manager, hopefully they'll have something interesting. So if the family office or wealth management investor is looking for a real estate fund, hopefully they'll be able to help them identify one that will be helpful. Another reason why relationships are set up this way is that many hedge funds and investment funds with only 20 million or 50 million in assets under management may not have the budget to pay a $10,000 a month retainer. They may have to keep costs pretty low, so they're willing to give 20 or 25% sharing on the fees as long as they can avoid that retainer. So that's another reason why a lot of relationships are set up this way. Another trend that I'm seeing in the third-party marketing industry that I think is really going to grow is the growth of third-party marketers who really specialize in one single distribution channel. Many times third-party marketers will take on clients and they'll try to raise assets for them any way possible. They might go after family offices, wealth management firms, endowment funds, institutional consultants. They may have to go after everybody and anybody to try to raise capital. But recently I'm finding a lot of third-party marketers are being more effective by focusing on one distribution channel. And the third-party marketers will market themselves as being experts in marketing to institutional consultants, or they're experts in marketing to endowment funds, or they're experts at getting access to the boards of large pension funds which invest in hedge funds. And so they act as these influence agents within a single distribution channel. And from my perspective, I think that's very smart. If you focus on one channel, you become very refined in how you approach that type of investor and you learn everything more quickly. If you're going to 10 different distribution channel options to raise capital, you have to learn about the different aspects of all 10 of those. And even if you've been doing it for 20 years, if there's somebody who works only in raising capital from pension funds and there's someone else who raises capital from 10 different areas, I'm willing to bet that person who focuses on pension funds is going to have better relationships, be in touch with the investors more often, and be more in tune with the movements of that niche of the industry than the more diversified person. I think that this is a good thing for managers. If you're going to hire a third-party marketer, make sure you understand where they're going to be marketing you, who they're marketing you to, how often, how many hours they're going to be spending on you each week. Ask for references and actually speak to 2 or 3 of those references. If they don't have 2 or 3 references, then do not pay large fees to that third-party marketer, or don't work with them at all, because you should work with professionals that are very experienced. And there's a lot of third-party marketers out there who are trying to gain new clients all of the time because raising capital for the past ones has not worked out, but they need to live off of those retainers. Those are not the types of third-party marketers that you want to work with. One other trend I'm seeing in the industry is the ending of third-party marketing relationships over contractual details. I'd really strongly advise, if you're going to invest your time and money in hiring a third-party marketer or in running a third-party marketing team, to meet for several hours with a lawyer or your legal counsel and get together a contract that's both fair, middle of the road in terms of terms, so that it'll be easily agreed to, hopefully, on both sides, and also very clear in when payments are made, how they're made, how investments are confirmed. There's a lot of gray areas. When you raise capital and the hedge fund manager gets several new investors, investors may call directly into that fund manager, even though the third-party marketer initiated the relationship. And there's a chance that that third-party marketer will never even know that new capital came into the fund. So there needs to be a transparent way through a fund administration firm, through a prime broker, through reports sent out to investors, to somehow figure out what new investors came on board, how much assets were raised, where those assets came from, so everybody gets paid for fairly. And up front, these issues don't seem like the biggest deal. Just getting the contract signed, getting an agreement in place might be the most important thing. But in 60 to 80% of all third-party marketing relationships, this becomes messy, it becomes a source of distrust, and it becomes kind of a sore point, and sometimes the reason why relationships end, even if capital is being raised. And that's really not the reason why you want to stop raising capital, no matter what side of the equation you're on. So I hope those tips and insights help into the industry of third-party marketing. We'll be producing many more videos on fund marketing, capital raising, and hedge fund marketing. So please stay tuned and send us in your feedback, and take care. Thank you.